chance and then you blew it.
The most absurd statement of the year.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, baby.
I'm in my zone, I'm feeling.
Live from West Studios, it's time for MinneZona Sports Live with DJ and Paul the Shield Vogt.
And this is MinneZona Sports Live. We are back. We're in person again.
Yeah.
Well, this is our second annual MinneZona Granite City Lumberjacks. But I can't believe this is
Crazy.
something that we look forward to every year, Shield. We've got a bunch. We got a lot of returning guests.
Yes.
We have our best guest of the year. We have Joe Clemence. We got DJ at some point. And we got Mikey Lawrence coming through. So,
absolutely.
Anything to add with that before we get our guys
on top of guests that we've got hella camera angles this year. I mean, you probably just saw it too. We got Kerf Doctor here in person.
He is
too,
here, yes,
holding it down. We got a guest in waiting. I mean, this is great. Next thing you know, we still got to get Kate Upton on the show at some point. So I don't know.
I haven't even thought about that for a long time. But now that you bring that up, I got to get to work. Her people talk to our people.
Yep.
We'll figure things out from there. So, anywho, I say we get rolling with our first guest. We would be remiss if we didn't do this.
Yes.
We have Eric Moser, 2023 best guest of the year. Welcome back. And he's got the title. The title is in hand.
Champ is here.
The old John Cena title. Look at that.
Staying right there, baby.
Ooh. I mean, we could put like best guest right there or something like that.
Somebody threw out my Burger King crown for best guest of the year, so I don't know who it was, but we're going to get to the bottom of it and take care of business. But, so I guess this is coming in second, and
we'll take it.
It's going to stay with me.
Yep.
So just ready to wear it again for a second year in a row.
Love it.
All right, go ahead, Shield.
Well, of course, we've been talking about all day. Your shirt says it all. Can't wait to gamble. You're a big sports gambling gentleman as well. What do we got here for the big lines this weekend? What are we sweating out right now?
We have a couple of parlays in play right now. We've got 3, 1 NHL, 2 college parlays. One is an absolute Hail Mary on the spread. So we're working through that one. My first one I like a lot better. I think we've gotten through 2 of the 5 stars, so we're still sitting pretty in NHL, and we've gotten through 1 of the 5 or 6. So looking pretty good. Couple bets that I do know you guys are going to want to take is Lumberjacks -1.5 tonight. That one is a lock. Take out second mortgage, put it down. You're going to thank me later. And then also, I'm just going to fire in there right away.
Love it.
Chicago Bears -3 against the Commanders on the road. Jaden Daniels questionable.
Yes.
And Joe.
Yeah.
Bye, Joe. Love you, Joe. See you, Joe.
That's what I got for you today.
I like it.
Perfect.
I like it. And segueing to, of course, talking about, gambling, moving on now to stuff on the ice here. Granite City Lumberjacks and coach Eric Moser. Mo skills. What is it? I hear it thrown out all the time. What's the exact Webster's Dictionary definition, Mo skills?
So Mo Skills is actually kind of my own hockey skills company. It is a business for me, right? It's a local smallish business, but I've got all the local high school kids, junior, age level kids, college kids, getting over at St. Cloud State all summer, twice a week, and working on skill stuff, very unorthodox stuff that you don't work on in that 60 to 90 minute practice. So a lot of very intricate stuff, getting pucks off the wall, different ways to pick up pucks in traffic, getting pucks off your backhand to your forehand to get shots on net, all little stuff that doesn't involve systems or anything. So just different ways for guys to add to their tool belt as hockey players and, try and make them more successful.
That's something that you do during the summer, correct? Is that what I heard?
Yep, and we got DJ on board this summer, so we're through summer 2 this year, going on to year 3. But yeah, I thought I just wanted something to obviously promote my last name, Moser, so that's where the Mo comes into play, and then skills. We're working on skills, hockey skills, so why not Mo Skills? A little, play on words, more skill, so that's where the Mo Skills comes into play. And now every time somebody on our team or somebody that I've worked with does something sweet, you just get to say Mo Skills because it's all coaching at this level.
I like that. I like that. And more information about that, just like more towards the end of the season, be able to put that out, or they just reach out to you. If they
Yeah, it's just
getting a jump start on that.
Yeah, just reaching out directly.
All right.
I mean, for the most part, it's all local guys because we just do it at St. Cloud State. So if guys are willing to travel, definitely welcome to travel, but don't do a ton of advertising. It's a word of mouth type deal,
Of course.
So.
Speaking of side hustles and businesses, I know that Maddie also has a little side hustle that you're quite proud of. I know Joe's also been involved with too. You want to tell us a little bit about that too?
Yeah, so my girlfriend Madison, she started her own little business making cake pops.
Mm-hmm. Shout out.
They're pretty dynamite. She's nailed the cake, and when she's baking, you know that she's baking. There's shit everywhere. There's chocolate, molds, this, that, the other thing. But at the end of the day, she makes them look very great, and they taste wonderful. She's made some for Joe, some real estate kind of theme ones. She made SpongeBob themed ones, some princess themed ones. She got bowling coming up. So
nice.
She's been creative. This morning before I came to the ring, she's baking a cake for some birthday.
Ooh.
We need to work on the frosting a little bit and the piping. But at the end of the day, even though the presentation might not be there for the cake, I know it's going to be great. But yeah, her little, her Instagram is like MT Treats or something. That's kind of her company name. So look at us entrepreneurs creating our own businesses. Just trying to be just the ultimate one punch in the world. I guess.
You just got a little side hustle, never hurt anything. Matt, want to go ahead?
Yeah. So on the show, we always do Absurd or Approve. You remember the segment a lot, and since we are a Minnesota-themed show, we want to ask Minnesota from obviously a Chicago guy and whatnot. But Voldy has done virtues on this. Voldy's virtues about how the Minnesota Wild will never win a Stanley Cup at this point. So my question to you, Eric, is Absurd or Approved? Do you agree with Voldy on the Wild will never win a Stanley Cup? What do you think?
Absurd. I think they're going to have an opportunity. I just think the Chicago Blackhawks will win a couple more before the Minnesota Wild can find a Stanley Cup final. But no, I mean, I think they've got the pieces in play. There's still some work to be done, right? But at the end of the day, how many years are going to be rebuild years when you've got the talent that they have? But their GM is great. He knows what he's doing. He's a man of the people. Love that guy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Gustafson's a solid goalie. He had a rough showing this afternoon. It was a 7-5 loss versus the Philadelphia Flyers, who have absolutely struggled.
Damn it.
So that's a tough one to wear on the chin. Marc-Andre Fleury coming towards the end of his career. I think he should be retired at this point. Get somebody else in there to develop and make better. Mikey's back over there making stupid faces as he's wearing a Jared Goff jersey.
More than that.
Yeah. But I think it's going to be a while yet. Kind of disappointing and embarrassing for the state of hockey, but that just leaves a couple more Stanley Cups for the Chicago Blackhawks to win. So I'm cool with it.
Damn it. Why does this have to happen on our show today? No, I'm just kidding. So on my next one, we talked about this last time, I feel like, with Caleb Williams. You were kind of on the fence about it. He'll be all right. Fields kind of just didn't work out.
That's why last year we're still talking about Justin Fields.
I know.
Look how far
we've come. Yeah.
Look how far we've come.
It's crazy. So, Absurd or Approved, Caleb Williams will lead the Chicago Bears to the playoffs this year. What do you think?
Oh, the division is just so good. Division is so good. It's great for everybody in this room. Joe, who is fans of teams in the division, but just this year I'm gonna say Absurd.
Okay, that's fine.
I think it's a tough year than North. I think he started off shaky, right? But he's 130 for 199. He's got damn near 1,500 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. 4 of them came week 2 and 3.
Right.
So he's obviously gotten better. But I just think it's a tough year in the NFC North. They're all firing on all cylinders. It's a tough division, and I think it's going to take them a year or two to really make that run. But the pieces are in place. They can sharpen up, run up edges on the offensive line a little bit, get a little bit more help. Defense has been great thus far. But I still think, realistically speaking, it's a couple years away yet.
Yeah, I think too, if you add a couple more pieces defensively, like in secondary, I think that's gonna help. You have the pass rushers, you have the linebackers, and you add that. I mean, they're gonna be to be reckoned with next year.
Yeah,
So
and the thing is, right, the division tough. You want to play in those tough divisions. And then those out of division games, they do. I mean, you're playing in the NFL, the pinnacle of professional football. Right? So no game is going to be easy by any means, unless you're playing like the Panthers, Jags, Cowboys this year. But you want to make sure that those in-division games are tough. That way, when you branch out, it makes it a little bit easier for you. So.
yeah, there you go. So my next question involves obviously the NFC North. The Vikings have yet to play the Chicago Bears. And my question to you is, absurd or approved, the Bears, and this is not me saying it, this is just the question. Will the Bears sweep the Vikings this year in the season series?
1-1 split.
I
1-1 split.
Yep.
I actually don't really know where they are on the calendar this year.
Yeah.
The first game at least. But if it's anywhere coming up here in the next, 3 weeks, I would say if the Bears can continue firing, because the Vikes started so hot, and now back-to-back losses, tough losses for them.
Yeah.
Was it back? Yeah, it was back-to-back.
Yep.
Yep.
Back now. Yeah.
And I feel like Minnesota sports fans they're puckering up a little bit. They're like, okay, hold on, it's the tale as old as time around here. Start off hot, show promising, and kind of plateau to eventually fail. Believe me, Minnesota sports fans, I've lived it for a long time being a Bears fan, so I can kind of talk that shit. But yeah, I think it's a season split.
Gotcha.
Speaking of which, again, the Bears play the Vikings at Chicago November 24th. That's a noon
They
kickoff.
struggle in Chicago.
That's a win for the Vikings.
That's a W for Chicago for sure.
Well, we'll see about that. But then as of right now, before we see any flexing of any kind, December 16th, Monday night at US Bank Stadium with the Bears. So that one could be us for the Vikings.
See, I think that was a win because the Vikings coming to Chicago late November. They have to leave their little luxury stadium indoors, the warm,
Paid off, fully
the
paid.
stupid drum, and So your Balm will be ripping on the Chicago sideline. Clogged pores be ready to go. Bear down, let's go.
Well, there you have it. Last question, and this is more towards this upcoming year, because I think he's done quite fairly well so far. What does it take to be the first back-to-back of the year of 2024? What do you think?
Well, I can tell you right now, my campaign will be a hell better than the two idiots that are running for president right now in our country. I'm not going to be going out there talking about other people's handicaps, this, that, the other thing. I'm going to get out there, campaign hard, get votes in, and just do my job right. To be the best, you got to train like the best, and you don't got to get ready if you stay ready. And I'm ready to wear it back to back. I'm ready to show all those other zoners out there that I mean business, and this is my crown, and it's here to stay. And again, I don't know if you said that you spinning, but in the base word, Jameis Winston, baby. We eating those W's.
I love it.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Rapid fire, Voldy.
All right, I go rapid fire. Are we more all in on Bedard or more all in on Caleb Williams?
Bedard.
I like it. Most random Chicago athlete you can think of, professional.
Oh, Angel Reese.
Fairly random.
That's kind of random.
Most money you've won one day in sports gambling.
$1,200.
I like it. Best highlight from this summer playing softball.
Seeing Chili go yard one more time than his brother.
Cha-ching.
And that was one time.
One time. Hey, second at bat of the season.
Hold on. I'm going to put Chili on blast. We won a game, and he went into the dugout and spiked his mitt and was pissed.
Yeah. I didn't play my best.
That's
on me. Max fine.
We appreciate the self-accountability of the dugout.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah,
men's league softball,
True.
Summer ball, nobody really cares. Spike in the mitt.
Tell that to Subaru.
It was a hell of a moment for everybody else that wasn't Chili because we were all getting a laugh out of it. So.
Yep. Just trying to bring the team together.
There you go.
Not an X's and O kind of guy. Stanley Cup favorite this year.
Ooh, that one's tough. I think the Winnipeg Jets.
Ooh, I like that team
Winnipeg
up north.
Jets. Give me a whiteout up in Winnipeg, baby.
I love it. I love it. Most heated confrontation you've had so far with either a player, fan, coach, referee this season?
This season, I would say maybe last weekend I was yelling at the ref because Portner got cross-checked in the face,
That's
and
true, yeah.
he asked me, "Who are you?"
That's
before
right.
going and telling on me to DJ, and DJ had my back. You know, he agreed with me.
Yeah.
But I took any and every opportunity to run my mouth to the referees. I was saying stuff along the lines of, first grade things. What do you want to be when you grow up? And that 3 ref was definitely not. I didn't but apparently on theirs. So I would say that is probably the biggest one this year.
All right. Last question, and I preface this with everybody here before the show started because I wanted an answer. All-time Lumberjacks starting lineup with players that you've played with, and since you were a former player, and guys that you coached as well.
Okay.
Which one are we going to start with?
We're going to start guys that I played with.
Okay.
In that, we're going Mac Berg. Okay. Just a stud, not one of those weird goalies. On the back end, be an idiot not to say myself. I know that you got to bring the lineup.
Most
to complement that sandpaper style I play, we got Jordan. Bring a little bit of skill, a little length back there.
Yes,
right? And then up front, we are going to go with Andrej Janicki from Slovakia.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go Owen Sikic.
Okay.
And Aiden Altena.
I love it.
Just a couple of little guys, speed up front, that can move, absolutely hammer it on net.
Okay.
So that would be my starting 6 for guys. My starting 6 for guys that I've coached. We're going to go Quinn Sigurdsson in net. Playing D1 hockey at Northeastern.
No big deal.
We've got on the back end Tal Halliday, Kyle Mortensen, very dynamic, great defenseman, all coaching again at this level. And then up front, we've got Ben Anderson, also playing D1. Not a big deal.
No big deal.
And then we're going to go Colin Diakawa and Carson Simon.
I love it.
So,
Nice.
I wanted to add a little bit of dynamic, a little complimenting each other out there on the ice. A lot of skill in that second lineup, but I think I got a pretty good list there. Some solid players there.
Simon used to
Very
crash on DJ's couch, by the way, too. So, yeah, good times. Good times.
Where's Coop?
See, I never coached or played with Coop.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And you can never trust a guy with a hairline that looks like his.
Thank goodness they have helmets.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Just wanted to throw that in there. Well, I think that'll do it for Mr. Moser. First of all, thank you for coming on again.
Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure having you on. And we're going to be – I can't wait to see all the votes and stuff like that for best guest and everything. So the guys that will be on here next, they got a stiff competition. So he'll be ready.
Well, with the exception, obviously Joe's coming on and DJ's coming on, but there is somebody that absolutely nobody knows is coming on. He's a no-namer. He looks stupid today, wearing stupid clothes, kind of a stupid face.
Just overall stupid.
If he so happens to come in second or even be touching my heels in this race, I'm going to act up.
Ooh.
You're not going to like it.
That's not good.
Fair enough.
No, I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I look forward to defend my title. Loud and proud. And best guest of the year. Do you guys
Nice
out there and all the Chicago sports fans listening. No, I appreciate you guys. It's always a time, and hopefully do it.
There it
Hell
goes.
yeah.
Yes.
The champ's here.
Very enthusiastic from the peanut gallery. Thank you.
All right. So I
Next.
think we got Mr. Joe Clemence. There's a lot to talk about
Yes.
with Mr. Joe Clemence. There's
He's all over the board.
the thing is, Voldy. There are a lot. Yeah, come on. So the main thing I wanted to talk about with Joe today is these Minnesota Twins. But I want Voldy will start off obviously as we usually do, but I know Joe, you're gonna be ready for those questions. And apparently you got something for me too.
Yeah.
So
Well, let everybody know at home, the Peanut Gallery hates the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I got this sweatshirt, 10 years ago. I've never worn it because I've never felt comfortable around anybody. But today, this is for you.
Love it.
The worst year ever because the Cowboys suck. But,
Yeah.
so does everybody else.
It
So,
does.
here
It
we
does.
are.
Quick update as well. Gophers up 21-0 after the first.
there we go.
Sky you up.
Sky Yuma, roll the boat. Gophers. How are we feeling at the start of the season here with the Lumberjacks?
I feel really good.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Brad just sits up and talks to a camera and it's with you.
Yeah.
I've been doing this a long time, since 2008, and my memory only serves me, a small handful of times for really fun starts.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, 10-0 right out the gate. I mean, I think we've only had, don't quote me on this, maybe 3 times ever we've had double digits out the gate without a loss. Last year's start, a little shaky, but look what happened at the end of the year. We got all the way to the semifinals game, but you just have a feeling like the longer you spend with this team, like you just get that gut, like there's something special going on here. And I think this year it's a pretty special team. So I'm looking forward to the next 5 months.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot. Just the mix of like the veterans back, they're all cool with each other. We've got these young guys coming in that have contributed, not afraid to really push the pace out there. And just being part of this whole team, I think the chemistry and all that coming together right from the very get-go is why they're 10-0 right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Moser will say, Deej will say, it's all coaching at this level. And I agree. I listen to everything they say, mostly everything they say during game days. But just the leadership. The stalls we're sitting in, I mean, 2 great guys who obviously get some new letters on their sweaters here tonight, which is great. I just look up and down. I mean, there's just a whole class of guys that just sink. I mean, and you can see it on the ice, and the guys who aren't on the ice most nights are doing very well to support the brand. And you just look at the staff too, like everybody else doing it, not just like the 3 of them that coach in the bench, but it's who got these guys in this room, Jimbo and Bob and all these other guys. It's a collective group, and you can tell the teams that have a powerful group and the teams that do not. Yellowstone Quake. But that's just how you can tell. There's 2 different teams.
Look forward to tonight with the Jacks taking on Will. Our first time we'll see them too, but we'll talk about that. But we need to gauge where you're at right now. You got your Bruins hat on, got your Dallas sweatshirt. You were sweating it out there with the Ryan Day, Ohio State. Where are we at right now? How are we feeling? I know that's been rough for Dallas, Ohio State, shaky, Bruins, all that.
I mean, let's just take it back a couple of weeks when the Lynx got screwed. Like, like it's. I know I get a lot of flack for the teams here. Everybody says I'm this bandwagon fan, but the only team that has won anything prior to 2014 was the Boston Celtics last year. And I'm a Boston sports fan, except the Red Sox. I don't cheer the Red Sox, but I am very faithful to the Minnesota Twins, at least to this point. But Dallas Cowboys, I mean, I told people, my prediction was they're going to win 7 games this year. I don't think they have the team to do it. The best thing that can happen, I don't wish death upon anybody, but I mean, there needs to be some changes in that front office, and Jerry needs to go on a medical leave for a very, very long time, and his son needs to go with him.
Interesting.
But that's that. The Vikings, I said the Vikings would win 10 this year and miss the playoffs. So they're halfway there. You got the absolute best division in football. The playoffs were today. All 4 are playing in the NFL playoffs, which is incredible.
That's amazing.
I like that. Minnesota Wild, they're always hit or miss. I thought we were going to have a good show today with a Minnesota Wild win. Nope. We did get that, but overall, I'm just here. I'm just here to enjoy it. I don't expect anything out of any of my teams. Maybe the Celtics may run a repeat, but I a tin hat wearer, and I believe strongly the NBA is fixed, and that they want Bronny and James to win a championship together so he can get another first. Because if anybody watched that game last night, know I'm not wrong. So, but other than that, I mean, I don't know. I'm here. Could be worse.
Hey, the Lumberjacks are winning. So.
Yeah, Jacks are winning. I love that. I think that's at the end. I get a lot of flack for talking. I used to talk a lot of junk about stuff on social media. I stopped doing that a couple years ago, and now I just say it in front of Moser and Mikey's face. And it could be worse. I could be a Bears fan.
That's true.
Could be.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Very, very juicy Chicago Bears team this year. They're exciting, but Caleb Williams is a bust.
Spicy. Very spicy.
He's a bust.
Man, we might have to have a debate here on the show later.
I think, hey, and again, I know I'm a little biased. Justin Fields, I think, is a phenomenal athlete. He was not given enough chance in Chicago. Look what he did in Pittsburgh, is doing in Pittsburgh. And the only reason he's getting set down because Russ is ready, right? I think Justin Fields he might not be a great fit for Pittsburgh. He's going to be in an area where if you just give the kids some trust, I think he's going to be a top 15 quarterback in the league. And I don't know if that gets you anywhere, but I think it's going to get you farther than Caleb Williams will.
Doesn't hurt. Justin Fields is also in Ohio State.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a little biased, but I think he's a good athlete. I do. But yeah, he threw just one bad pass in Ohio State, and that was in the semifinal game against Clemson. But I think he's a good kid.
All right, so we do obviously we do the ARAs. This time last year, Joe.
Yep.
I asked you the question of, will the Twins make it farther
Yep.
in the playoffs next year?
Yep.
And I said, and we both said yes. We said stamp of approval.
Yep.
Well, that didn't turn out to be because you have these terrible owners that don't know what they're doing.
Yep.
And decided to cut payroll.
Yep.
They didn't go out and get anybody at the deadline. They didn't do jack you know what.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, they're saying they're going to be looking into selling the team. The question is, though, are they actually going to do it, or are they going to go back on their word? So absurd or approved, the Minnesota Twins will be sold this year to a new owner/ownership group.
I think absurd. I think it's smoke and mirrors. I think we all agree the poll ads are listening for the first time in 15, 20 years, maybe. Step one, there's still time for this to happen, but had they fired Rocco immediately as the season ends, then all in. They're selling the team. It's 100% happening. When they delegate and say it's not Rocco's fault, when it was clear as day, just look at the stats, 78% of the time he changes lineup this year. Ridiculous for a team that has so much talent. You got Carlos Correa purposely not catching ground balls. The team does want Rocco there. I mean, it's clear as day. You can tell when a team does not want what's going on. So then they come out and say, hope, we're going to sell the team. It's going to be just like Glenn Taylor. They're going to pull the rug from underneath us. If Minnesota Twins were smart, if Alex Rodriguez was smart, he would get his boys together and buy the Minnesota Twins. He's going to make more money than he would with the Timberwolves. It's a bigger market, bigger opportunity, longer season, and they can control prices. That is my biggest thing, and I cannot stand Alex Rodriguez just because of him playing for the Yankees. But I think as a businessman, he's a genius, and if he get his hands on the Minnesota Timberwolves, great, but I think he should be going for the Twins because that price tag that the poll ads are going to go out there and say, we'll sell for $650 billion when the team is worth $120 million, right? It's not going to happen. And then we're all going to end up here where it's going to come out to be, March, April. Everybody's going to be that happy syndrome where the flowers are blooming, the grass is green, and the Twins will take the field to win 60 games. That's just
it's asinine. Yeah. And the one thing I want to add to that too is when you have an opportunity to go far in the playoffs again, and we've talked about this on the show, is that going out and doing the little things, going out and getting a pitcher or something like that. There were a couple. Snell was one of those guys, I think, at one point, and they didn't pull the trigger. Oh, that's too much. We can't because they cut payroll. The thing is they focus more on business than they actually do. They're not even baseball people. That's the sad thing about this whole thing. And they've actually tried to sell it, but of course, their asking price is ridiculous. So I agree with you.
Well, just look at it. Just look at what is going on right now. Who played last night? Yankees, Dodgers. Who has the two highest payrolls? Yankees, Dodgers. Am I saying the poll ads have the billions to do it? No. Do they have enough money to put that team in the, ALCS? Right. Yes, they do. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not going to beat a Yankees team that is that stacked. You look at their lineup, 1-9, incredible. Maybe not their second baseman, but everybody else, that team is stout. Yeah. Look at the Dodgers. They just spent, you could buy the moon for less than he just paid for Ohtani, but what did Ohtani do? First player in MLB history to go 50-50. And though he didn't show up last night, doesn't need to. You got 8 other guys. Right. Freddie French Fry Freeman. Are you kidding me? The guy is old. Crazy. He's incredible. The other teams let him go. That would have been a big pickup for the Twins, but there's more money out there to be paying when you're a Dodger. But it just floors me that they went and got nobody and said, we're good. And then they are looking good, and then August comes around and we'll just tank. I don't. It's so frustrating because I've been a seasickador since 2009 and the Wild, and I get absolutely nothing but a black eye every year with those two teams.
Yeah, and the one thing I'll add, and with this team too, is that they never go out on the trade deadline either to find guys. And who did they get? We don't even know his name. It's only to release the guy.
Yeah, days later.
Days later.
It doesn't make any sense to me, but. I don't know. We just sit here, and that's why we're just small, and we don't have a voice, even though they want us to have a voice. We wrote a very large paragraph with our season to year-end review this year, and we went in and out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
This, Paul. I sell that team. Please. All right, so next one. We're moving on to college football. Absurd or approved? Your Buckeyes will win Big Ten this year. Or, excuse me, Big 8 teams.
Yes.
Sure. I think it's absurd. I think that they struggled again today against a really good Nebraska football team. Nothing against Matt Rule's football team. I think they're very good, but they're going to go into Happy Valley next week and take on a very, very good Lions team that I think got an Oregon myself. Oregon's a great football team too. That was a really good game a couple weeks ago. But I think the big is Oregon's to lose, and I think Ohio State's going to end the season with 3 losses. I do. So.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and I hope they do, and I hope that it is against the team from up north that I don't wish any love to, but Ryan Day's got to go. He's got to go. Yeah,
Pipe down, Mikey. You're a Michigan State fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a hot take. Oh.
You'll never hear a Buckeye wish ill and wish a win on the team from up north, but you have probably a 60% dissatisfaction rating right now for Ryan Day. And he did it again today. He scored 14 points in the first quarter, then had to try in the fourth, and then they sneaked one out barely. I don't know. I thought they would lose one game this year. I thought it was going to be Oregon. But after today, they're going to be out one of their DBs next week for the first half because of a targeting call that was bogus. So I think Penn State is going to be the real deal. And whoever wins that game will likely play Oregon for the big title.
Gotcha. So let's move on to your Cowboys real quick. So here's my perspective on the Dallas Cowboys. And I agree with you about Jerry. Like, good Lord. He's yelling, telling guys he's going to fire them and stuff on the radio.
The radio guys.
Radio guys.
That's bad.
And then I think the mistake that they made this offseason, signing Mike Zimmer as DC. You see, Zim, and the thing is, Zim talked a lot of crap about with Minnesota. And granted, it was both their faults, both Zimmer and Spielman's fault. Well, we'll get to that in another time. But is there anything you want to add why it's been so bad for your Dallas Cowboys this year?
It's just a collective crap pool. I mean, I loved Dak in 2014 to 16 range, him and Zeke when they were in their prime. They had their chance. They got screwed against Green Bay, and I think that was their one chance to finally turn the page. We're spending these dollars on people that we shouldn't be spending money on, and most of it is coaching staff. I think biggest mistake we made is letting Dan go. Because look how Washington is.
Yes.
Everybody said he was never going to be a good head coach again. He can't take a team anywhere. Washington was trash last year. And they have completely turned their season around. He's having fun. He's good. And then we bring in a has-been who had another phenomenal Minnesota Viking team to play with. They blew it. And you're telling me you give up 50 points to the Saints, who get throttled week after week after. And then the next week you get throttled again. That's not Jerry's fault. That's not Dak's fault. That's not CD's fault. That is 100% coaching. And you have a really good coach sitting at home, as mentioned, waiting for the phone call. And Bill needs to be called. We need him. We need Bill. And then another one, he missed out on Robert Saleh, who I think is a phenomenal coach. And kudos to Matt LaFleur for him, because that is a big pickup for Green Bay, and that's going to change that team in a different direction. And it hurts to say, but it's going to make Green Bay better. So those little mistakes where you had your opportunity and you don't do it because you're too proud of the way you try to build a team that's getting buried.
All right. Well, last question for you. And, there was that, it's an untold documentary thing. And I know, you're an Ohio State fan, the whole Michigan ordeal. I kind of want your thoughts on this Connor Stallions. What are your thoughts on Mr. Connor Stallions?
I absolutely love that guy. I think it is hilarious, the story. I think both sides of it. Have you guys seen the show, the Netflix?
Yes,
oh my gosh! Just like it just reminds me of the Nickelback. Look at this photograph. Like when Portnoy has the photo up, like just seeing this guy is like, that looks like a Connor on the sidelines. I fully believe Michigan cheated. I think everybody agrees they did it. I feel awful for the kid because they forced him to do this stuff allegedly, right? Going back to last year, Michigan just irks me. I can't stand that team. Them winning is just the epitome of life. But good for them. I mean, do it until you get caught, right? Because you know darn well, like, look at the USC days. They were doing it even worse, right? You just got one kid who had to take the fall, and good for you, Connor, wherever you are.
Wherever you are. Yeah. All right, rapid fire.
All right, we're going to start off here. We're going to come in fast on this one. Best and worst color commentator that you've had while, in your whole career. Oh,
Mary.
It's been a few years.
Well, best would be Zach Fish. Sorry,
Mhm.
Paul.
No, that's
Zach
fine.
and I had the absolute most fun ever. I mean, we were the second year group here. We did Huskies together,
Mhm.
men and women. Now he's with the
Hershey
the
Bears.
Hershey Bears, or the Capitals affiliate. So he'll be the voice of the Caps someday, and
Mhm.
good for him. Worst. I don't even remember his name.
That's how bad he was.
He went to St. Cloud State. He was the guy who helped me out for maybe 5 games before you came back.
Okay.
I can only see his face. I don't remember his name. He was awful. Yeah, didn't know where to hold a mic, didn't know where to look, didn't know who was who, didn't know when to stop talking, type of thing. So, yeah, it's probably good to know his name.
I
But-
brought this up last year, and you actually sent me, I believe the name it was, hardest name that you've had to pronounce in your career.
Yes, Auntie, I can't remember. It's Auntie Paulo something Polo. It was on the Minnesota Owls
Yep.
way back in 2008. He
Yep.
had 16 letters in his name, number 20 for the Owls. Yeah, I have that photo. It pops up every year. It's ironically around this time.
Yeah.
It comes up around Thanksgiving.
That's why I wanted to bring it up. Just
Yeah,
in case
yeah,
it
yeah.
pops up tomorrow or
Yeah,
something
I'll
like
have to
that.
keep my eye on it. But yeah, he was number 3. Is what he was actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needed to buy a vowel, and he had the only one was his first out of the name. Yeah, it was fun.
More likely to happen in your lifetime, another Dallas Super Bowl or another Ohio State national champion.
Ohio State. Ohio State's going to win one in the next 3 years.
Who is the most random cowboy in Ohio State player you can name of? One of each.
Oh, the most random cowboy. Not even random, but like Jay Novacek.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
Mhm.
Nice tight end back in the 90s. Most random Buckeye. Beanie Wells?
I like it.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Benny Wells. Yeah, he was
Wherever
great.
he might be, I think behind Steele, but he got in trouble. Yeah.
Over under the years it will take for you and Brad Wilner to finally go into the restaurant business. 5.5.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm a man who likes to spend money
Yep.
in real estate. You want to buy or sell. I would love to say the under. I think if I find a restaurant that's local, a
Mhm.
building, and there might be one for sale coming up soon, really close to him and I would love to hammer the under on that.
I
But
like
that's
that.
a Willie thing.
Yep.
I'm all in.
Yep.
I'll
I know,
spend $1 million
I know.
bucks right now. But
Every
yeah,
week.
I need Willie and his family to allow it. So maybe when the boys are a little bit older, he'll have the ability to be freedom a little bit more. But we'll see. I'm
This
gonna
one-
say under.
This one's talking more about, you pretty much know all the coaches here in the division, a lot
Yep.
of them in the league. What's been your favorite kind of interaction that you've had with maybe an opposing coach?
Oh boy, I mean, I do have a lot. Like Chris Flogger was one of my favorite, coaches that was in the league for the Junior Blues. I get along with Todd Sandin and all of them. I don't really have like a really great interaction. It's just I think it's always positive
Mm-hmm.
every time that I see them, which I think is kind of cool because being a play-by-play guy in this league, you're just kind of just a person, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, when you've done it as long as I have, and I am so fair down the line, and I'm a very personable person, I'll go out there and talk to anybody, about anything. But I can't give you one specific interaction. Maybe this is a PG-13 show, so
Yep.
there's a running joke with your brother DJ, Chris Flogger, and I that comes through in a text message that I have to share off air. Sorry, a very specific guy leaning over couch. If you get my drift, that we got going. So that's probably it.
Fair enough.
All right, last one. Gave you the question beforehand. Your all-time Lumberjacks starting lineup.
I had a really hard time with this, and I put it down. I've been here 16, 17 years, and I've seen a lot of really, really good talent. I asked, I got permission. I didn't do it the traditional way,
Yep.
the 2D, 3 fronts, and then goalie. But I did do goalie Mac Berglove. Moser hit him. There's been a lot of really good endies here, but I love Mac. Bobby Jacob, he won us our first championship ever in this barn, right on that far right wing when we ended Rochester's historic dynasty to win the Busch Cup. I love Bobby Cheka. Peter Lillad, another just great guy. Aiden Verbecki, up till a couple years ago, was the all-time leading point scorer for Granite City until Bailey hit that. Tina, 100%. And they got Ben Anderson in there too.
Nice.
That is a very, very tough question. I've asked it 10 times, and I don't like to answer it because there's a billion guys. But I had to give you one alternate. It's got to be Sicky, Zach.
Zach,
Sicky.
yes.
So that's my extra guy.
I like it. There we go. I mean, that's all I got for you.
That's what we got. Well, Joe, a pleasure having you on again.
Thanks,
We
guys.
gotta get you on for when the Twins are going up, and
Yeah,
it's because I feel like me and Voldy rant about it enough, but we need to hear another Twins fan like the frustration.
Vested.
Vested,
Twins
yeah.
fan.
Yeah. When you guys start streaming and we go to rated R or TV 17, I'm in.
After dark.
Yeah, when we start
Zona
talking
after
about the
dark.
Minnesota Twins, you know, it's my blood pressure just goes because I mean I give that damn team thousands of dollars a year, and you know what they give me? Nothing but this shit to talk about every freaking week. 17 poll lads.
Peace. Well, Joe, we thank you. We can't thank you enough.
Thanks,
We
guys.
appreciate your
it. Love
time.
the show. Love you guys.
And,
this next guy's a real treat.
So yeah,
Real
and
piece
yeah,
of shit.
so speaking of which, yes, we have our next guest here, Mikey Lawrence.
Yeah.
This is a first time,
Yeah.
but as you will see, as you probably,
Long-time
I don't
listener,
know what
first-time
camera
caller, I
Curve
believe.
Doctor's got us on, but he is
Slide
wearing
in
a
here.
Detroit Lions jersey right in front of us.
Get outta here.
But I will say, those sweatpants
They are
look
comfortable.
mighty
I
nice
blew the
on
back
you.
out of it on accident. You know, I wore
You
them
sure you
playing.
didn't blow the back out when Brooke was wearing those?
Nope, it was me.
Ah,
I,
gotcha. Okay.
I decided to wear them in softball one night and
That's right.
You know,
yeah, I remember that.
got the juices flowing. Tried to turn a single into a double, and here we are.
Well,
But they're still comfy as all get out.
I love it. Well, you're already starting off on the wrong note with that Lions jersey, but you know I got to give credit where credit is due. They did beat the Vikings fair and square.
Mhm.
I will say the thing is the Vikings could have made some more plays,
Mhm.
and the Lions did get it done. They're definitely the top of the NFC and whatnot. So, but we'll get into that in a second. So, Shield, what do you got?
Well, of course, you being a former player with Granite City, kind of tell us, how'd you get back involved with the team, the organization after playing? Then you were in Michigan, you came back, and now here you are as an assistant coach.
So I played here 2012. So DJ's last year here. Played half a year here. Traded over to Metro
Yikes.
in Detroit. Yeah.
Yikes.
Don't like to speak about that place
Nope.
so much, but here we are. During COVID, ended up rekindling a flame with my friend Brooke. She is from St. Cloud. She was actually a few houses down when I billeted here.
Nice.
So that's kind of how I got to meet her. She came out to Michigan, visited. Then I came here, visited, came to attack and got to see all the guys again, which was great. And 3 years after that, we moved here. So I've been here about a year and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
Right when I got back, started coming to all the Jacks games again and having a blast, and mentioned to DJ, if you help with anything, let me know, yada, yada. That kind of turned into more of like a talking coaching aspect, and he knows that I've been around the game forever. My dad's been around the game forever. He coached in DNA 3, played the NHL, and scouted for a bunch of different places, so it's in the blood. DJ approached me and asked me if I wanted to join the squad, and I said absolutely, and here we are.
I've always asked this of DJ's former teammates, whether it's been Coop, whether it's been Tim Brown, basically anybody that showed up. Knowing DJ as a player, that personality, him on the ice, in the locker room, him sitting in his stall, hour and a half after the game and still being 3/4 dressed while everybody's already showered, dressed now in the locker room. Could you, literally, while we're sitting in there, freezing our rear ends off, could you have seen DJ being head coach's organization back when you were playing?
100% undoubted.
He doesn't sign the checks. You can be honest. I mean,
No. I got to give credit where credit's due here. DJ's a great guy, loves the game, and I think that's a huge part of continuing your career when you're done playing.
Mm-hmm.
I know a bunch of guys, great players, great teammates that they just kind of let hockey fade off. But DJ's love for the game and wanting to make everybody around him better is why this organization is so successful. I mean, with Willie bringing in DJ, the year DJ got hurt speaks volumes of his character.
Right.
So you have him now, head coach of the team, making all the decisions. He incorporates Mose a ton. He incorporates me, he incorporates Willie. Everybody in the back has a say in every single decision that's made, which, the family aspect is huge here. Everybody knows that. And with DJ, families first. Not even our family, your guys' family.
Yep.
But we are a very, very, very close second. I mean, it doesn't shock me at all that DJ's coaching, let alone here, and then let alone having the success that he's had already.
It's amazing. 300 plus wins under his belt as head coach in this organization. Let's kind of switch things up. We've already set the preface here with the Lions jersey on. Now, how are we feeling this year? Obviously, you get the big win against the Vikings last week. How are we feeling this year with this team? I mean, what are we looking at as the bar for this season?
Starting the season, I had Super Bowl champs, 100%. Locked down, no doubt, Jared Goff MVP. I even had Hutch in the race for the MVP. But you see him go down. And I've talked to tons of other people who say the exact same thing, how unfortunate it is. And they're not even Lions fans. It's just he's so good for the game. He's so good outside of the game that it hurts. It hurts. Joe doesn't like him because he went to Michigan. No, my hopes are still there. They're such a good team. Maybe I've been so just beat down in the past. Sure. Like, I never got to see the Lions in the playoffs my entire life.
That's true, yeah.
And then last year, here we are. And now it's like, oh, it's not just we're in the playoffs, it's winning a playoff game. And, from there, you think everything is just going to be right on the table.
Right.
So coming into this season, we only got better in the offseason. And now, like I said, I still see Super Bowl. I still see Super Bowl champs.
Okay.
I see a sweep of the Minnesota Vikings.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I don't think they lose another game this season.
Wow. I like that.
The thing is with Detroit, they have the offensive line to do it. Their defense is vastly improved since 2 years ago, per se. And, you look at, as a Lions fan, I want to ask you, that game against the Niners, you guys are up, I don't know, 24, was it 24-0 or something
like that in the first
24-0. And do you think, and I want to ask this, you as a Lions, do you think it is when Dan Campbell does these, like, okay, we're going to go for it on 4th down and things like that, do you think that could really cost them again here coming up? Or do you think that they'll get past that, they're good enough team and everything like that? What do you think on that?
So I was pretty confident until, 2 weeks ago, that Dan Campbell had kind of picked and chose this season on when to run fakes or go for it on 4th. Right. And then you see the Lions' first drive in the Vikings game. A fake punt. They're backed up on their own, 30? Yeah. 35 maybe. Fake punt. The Minnesota stops them, and then all of a sudden we're down 7-0. And then we're down 10-0. And I'm like, I said before the game, I said this is going to be a blowout. I don't know which way. Because I wasn't fully confident in it. And then as soon as that happened, I'm like, uh-oh. I'm never going to hear the end of it from everybody here. Everybody who knows that I'm a Lions fan. Vikings beat the Lions. But no, they came back. With Dan Campbell, I trust the process that he's got going on. Everybody does. Everybody loves Motor City Dan. The cojones on that guy. It's just insane. Mm-hmm. I think we're good enough to overcome the adversity of getting stopped on plays like that, but I would love to see him dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, and I asked that because, every time on the show, we'll have, there's be Lions fans on, oh, I love it, you should keep doing it and things like that, and it's like, I think you need to dial back a little bit because I think it costs them.
Everyone loves it when it works.
Right, exactly. Right. And I think it cost them a couple of times in that game against the Niners, so... I mean, that's just my thoughts. I was just curious what you had.
I agree 100%. I think there's a time and a place, and he definitely overextends that time and place. But there's also this is just not feasible to do it. And where that line is for him is kind of up in the air for me right now. But he's such a good coach. I don't doubt him.
Fair enough.
What do we feel about the Red Wings this year?
I hate the Red Wings. I've never liked the Red Wings.
Perfect. Short, sweet, to the point.
They lost today, so...
All right. Answers that question. Well, what team you cheering for? You a Wild guy then? I'm a Wild and a Penguins fan. Hey, all right. Well, got to have your teams. I mean, how do we feel about that this year?
I'm confident in them to make the playoffs.
Okay.
I think making the playoffs. That division's strong, too. Winnipeg still hasn't lost again. Dallas is stacked again. It's just Utah coming out of nowhere. It's going to be a battle to get into the playoffs, but I think that they're built, last season, a bunch of injuries at the worst times kind of gave them the false hope, but they still were winning games, and they made it interesting. So I think playoffs this year, nothing more than that, but they'll be there.
I like
Fair
it.
enough. I like.
Should go rapid fire now?
Yeah,
All
rapid
right, let's
fire.
do it. More likely to happen, as we have talked about, after a Lions Super Bowl. Another Stanley Cup for the Red Wings, a Tigers World Series, or a Michigan State National Championship.
Oh boy. I'm gonna have to go with the Tigers. They're
All
so
right.
young, and I can't be like, oh, I was a huge Tigers fan this year. I'm not a bandwagon fan, but I only started to get intrigued by the Tigers again. Back in the day, I had Porcello, Verlander,
Oh yeah.
that whole Scherzer, Miguel Cabrera. Like I got to watch those guys.
Still couldn't win a
there's-
title,
and
but
still,
I'm just saying.
still let
yeah.
me down.
Yep.
But when the Tigers this year started playing their young guys and they started to make a little bit of noise, and wow, they have a playoff shot here. That's when I started to watch, and it is incredible. I believe, who was the closer for Houston that makes like $17 million a year?
Josh Hader? Is that
I think so.
long hair, white guy?
Yep.
Lefty?
Yep.
Yeah, Josh
So
Hader.
the Tigers' salary was less than his salary. The entire starting roster, and I'm like, you know what? There's a promising future here.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a promising
Yeah.
future, but it's all ownership. So, like you guys know,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great ballpark, though, I'll say.
Yeah.
I've never
love-
been,
I
but
love
I enjoyed
Comerica.
the views. I enjoyed
I
the
love
views.
Comerica.
Best and worst Detroit sports jersey. Now, there's been some bad ones in the most
Yes.
recent couple of years. What's the best and worst?
Best, I have to go with these gray Lions jerseys. I love
all
them.
right. Yeah.
They can't be beat. I'm up in the air between those and the blacks.
Blacks are sick.
I think the worst is the Red Wings red, and they went with like the cream
Oh
logo. The
yeah,
old cream. It just looks terrible.
I like that. All right. Most random Detroit athlete you can think of.
Joik Bell.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
Running
That's
back.
a really good one.
He went from
Fantasy,
being a security guard at Ford Field
That's
to
right.
being on the roster.
wow.
I had him in fantasy football, and let me tell you, he was a stud fantasy football wise. I will say.
I think he went to Lane State, which is right down the road from
Mhm.
Ford Field,
Mhm.
and now he worked in security. And I don't know the truth behind the story, but he was like in there working out after hours, and
Yeah.
somebody from the management seen him and watched him run, and they gave him a shot.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. Here's a question. Might burn some bridges, but we're gonna ask it. Best and worst softball athlete at the group here.
Oh man. Best, I gotta go Mose.
Okay.
The hustle out of the box every time.
I like it.
Guy's a utility knife in the
Uh-huh.
field, plays anywhere. Can't really throw. I mean, he's got a bad wing.
Bad shoulder. Bad shoulder.
No, whatever he does, he always manages to throw out the shoulder. Whether it's activities at home or playing softball. So.
All right, who's the worst?
I gotta give worst to DJ this year. Nobody pulls an Achilles playing third base in a rundown while he's not the one running. It just doesn't happen. Well, it does. but
It-
it's not supposed to.
The guys we held together with more screws and tight clothing than anybody in this room. And that's saying something. All right, last one. Of course, brief career here with Granite City. But give me your Jack's all-time starting lineup.
All right, so on forward, I've got to go with DJ Vold, the
Mhm.
leadership aspect of the game. Nathan Kohlenhofer.
Yes, Coley.
You need a little bit of grit and sandpaper out there.
Gave
and
me
then-
my first goal call, actually, too, Kohlenhofer.
Love it.
You know?
I miss that guy.
Yeah, great dude.
And Brett Love,
Brett Love.
another Michigan boy,
Yes,
fan
sir.
favorite.
Of course.
Everybody loves him. On the back end, go Tim Brown. Tim and I are still
Big
really
Tim.
good friends. He's local again. So,
Yep.
and then goaltender, I'm saving my last D. So
Okay. All right.
goaltender, Scott Murray.
Scott Murray.
Murray and I played together in AAA for many years.
Man, a few words, Scott
yes,
Murray.
doesn't talk a lot, but he's got his own chiropractor shop now. So
Oh, jeez.
if anybody needs to get hooked up, it's just one quick flight over to Virginia, and you're fine.
Yeah, there you go.
My last defenseman,
Oh,
I'm
boy.
gonna go Brad Wilner.
Nice.
Shot in the dark.
There you go.
Gotta have Willie out there. He's been around the block a time or two. He knows what he's doing.
You know,
Yeah, you gotta love it. Well, Mikey, we thank you for coming on. So hopefully, good luck to your Detroit Lions. Honestly, but you still got to worry about Green Bay, Chicago, and you're not worried about them.
No.
All right. Well,
Caleb Williams doesn't scare me at all.
Fair enough. All right. Well, hey, Mikey, thanks again. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir, Mikey.
So,
yes.
is it confirmed? Do we have
He's back here
DJ
somewhere.
Vold?
I
Is
don't
he
know.
raring
Need
to
some
go?
Assistance, boy. We'll get the whole peanut gallery after
So,
him. He's a busy guy. He's getting the lineup
yeah, I
ready
get it.
for
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah, you got a lot going
Late
on.
arrival, but
tonight.
it's okay. That's fine.
But you know what?
He's a busy guy. 2 kids at home. The commissioner. The whole deal.
And last time we were on with him,
Mhm.
we you just had that debate with Kirk Cousins being top 10 quarterbacks. That, and I was curious in my thoughts of he's with Atlanta now and whatnot. So we'll have to ask him another time and whatnot. So we'll just kind of go from there.
Should we get Jimbo? I know Matt wants Jimbo.
I
on the show
do.
real bad.
I do.
Jimbo's busy.
Is he busy? Okay.
Well, he just overall.
Oh yeah.
Where many hats, any irons in the fire? I mean,
He was
all over the place.
decked out in Bison gear.
Yep.
Today, and that
It was
was cool.
52-3 last time I saw.
Oh
so-
man, I don't know if
End of the third quarter.
some of you SMSU people remember this. It's not looking good for whoever they're playing.
No, it's not.
So, but anyway, with that being said, that's what we got. That's who we got this week and whatnot.
Oh, hold on, we might.
Oh,
see-
wait, hold
we
on.
might
Oh,
try and
time
get
out.
one more person. I don't know.
Time out. Yeah,
I don't
we'll
know.
just kind of
We're kind of making a
riff X-nay on the
We'll have our people to hold to their people.
And
Scheduling
whatnot.
conflicts. Again, we're busy.
We're busy people.
That's the whole thing. But that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah. So
Short, sweet, to the point.
right. So
These are the people you want to see.
that's true. That's true. We got to give big thanks though before we go in here to the Kerf Doctor.
Yes, sir.
As well.
Kerf
So Clemence out
Doctor.
there running the controls behind there, and we really do appreciate it.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes stuff. So and whatnot. But
Nothing else. Nothing. You're fine.
so anyway, Voldy, what we always do this with the special. Do you have any
Yes.
Shield shout-outs?
I
Who
mean,
you shouting out today?
Yeah, I mean, we got to give Shield shout outs, of course, to Joe, Eric, Mikey for coming on the show. Obviously, big fans of them, big fans of us. We appreciate it. Big Shield shout out. Kerf Doctor making the trip over on the 1s and 2s behind the camera. Matt as well for, obviously making the trip up. We appreciate it. I mean, we got to do more shows in person together. I mean, we
Yes.
got to get our schedules coordinated. I've got 2 kids at home.
Yeah.
You've got an apartment.
Yeah.
It's a whole song and dance.
So,
Life is funny like that.
Right. We were working full-time jobs. We got stuff
Exactly.
going on, things like that.
If people want to give us money to do this show, I mean, we'll take it. Sponsorships, ad reads, buying
Whatever.
our merch, we'll do it. We'll do it all.
Yeah, we'll pay in peanuts or something.
Exactly.
But Voldy, coming up for our next show on Wednesday, we got to talk about that Vikings game.
Oh boy, do we have to?
We might
have
have
to talk about it.
yeah.
I'm just glad we didn't get into it today. I
Right.
wanted something positive to talk about, and that's what we
Right,
did.
and that's the thing is
Yep.
like we'll talk about that, and we already talked with the link stuff.
Mhm.
Absolutely ridiculous and whatnot. We'll probably talk
Yeah.
some wild here
Mhm.
and whatnot. So a lot coming up here this week as
Mhm.
well. So with that being said, another successful Granite City Lumberjacks special. We hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And we'll probably be back next year doing
hope
some
so.
more stuff and whatnot. We had a lot of fun. Make sure you tune in on Wednesday. We've got a lot coming your way. We've got merch. Remember, we got merch. You see the winter
The
caps.
hats.
You see the hats in front. Kerf Doctor came in wearing the MinneZona quarter zip.
Yes,
So
sir.
still got those. The fall is vastly approaching coming
Yes, it is.
up for us too. So make sure you get that, the sweatpants, things like that.
Mhm.
You guys know it. And thank you to everybody here at the Lumberjacks organization and whatnot. Thank you to our guest, Kerf Dr. Voldy, as well.
Yes, sir.
And we will see you on Wednesday. And as always, remember, folks, keeping the zone.
Holla.
Thank you for watching MinneZona Sports Live. Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for live show And as Voldy likes to say, follow us on all the medias.